the Savannah Film Fest, where Alan and Marilyn Bergman will be receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Alan, Marilyn, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Pleasure to be here, man.
Thank you. So how are you guys enjoying the festival so far?
We've had a great day today, starting with a class of young performance artists who sang for us so beautifully.
Oh yeah.
Moved me to tears.
Oh wow, that's great. Have you guys ever been to Savannah before?
No.
No. So it's good.
No,
So
we've heard about it.
so what are your impressions of the festival?
So far, it's been wonderful. Everybody's been so warm and
Good.
friendly, and
Good. Yeah, I saw you. You were with Michael Auer earlier. He's quite a character. He's a fun guy to hang out with.
what was that?
He was the one over proctoring at the panel you were just at.
Ah,
And it was
That was Chris.
oh, I'm sorry, Chris Auer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I meant
Chris.
Michael Auer. That's my
Yeah.
fault.
That was great. We had
well,
breakfast together, so we kind of got
And,
acquainted.
Yeah. He's a nice
yeah,
guy.
very good. He asked very good questions.
Yes. Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Fun.
So, obviously, you guys have had a very acclaimed career. You've got countless awards. I'm wondering, in movies like Yentl and projects like that you work on, how much creative control do you have? When working with someone like Barbra Streisand, when she doesn't like something, do you have to change it, or is it much more of a give and take?
Well, a project like Yet, which was her, she was the director, she was the star, she
Yeah.
was
The producer.
the producer. But we've worked together for many, many years, and she's very much a part of our lives. I mean, we're very close friends. We're like family with each other. So there's a lot of, Alan said this earlier somewhere, that there were, in a relationship like that, there are so many shortcuts,
And trust and respect and,
and not standing on any kind of ceremony. I mean, she can be critical as we can be resisting, in a way, but it's
It's a collaboration,
Yeah.
and movies are collaborative work, and so, and we know, as Marilyn said, the instincts, the feelings, the emotion, and working on a project that we all loved. So it was truly a labor of love. We had a wonderful time doing that. I wish we could do it again.
it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're working on a new project, The Man Who Was Magic.
Yeah.
We've started that. We've put it aside. We may go back to it. I noticed it in the notes when I was looking at some of the material.
I was reading up on the book. It sounds really interesting.
It is a wonderful
Paul
book.
Gallico
Yeah.
was a wonderful writer.
Yeah.
But in show business, you have to have a lot of things
A
going
lot of things going on. Yeah, of course.
So we have that. We're starting to work with Marvin Hamlish on another project, and we have this a show called Up Close and Musical that we wrote with Cy Coleman that we have some trying to get started. I mean, that's finished,
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things
A lot of things going on.
going on.
And you have to have, as Alan said, you have to have 3 or 4 balls in the air,
Yeah.
hoping that one of them lands.
Of course. Yeah, it's
Or
exciting.
that if you drop 2 of them, there's still one
You've
in
got the other
air.
one to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it helps that there's 2 of you, so you've got extra hands. So, let's see here. Well, one thing I've been asking. I interviewed Peter Bart the other day, and obviously, with new media going on, there's so much such a trend of everything going online and digital. And I'm wondering if that translates to the line of work that you guys are involved in. If you have to deal with the sort of transfer over to the digital world.
Well, you know that she's president of and chairman of the board of ASCAP, and she deals with that every day.
Oh, yeah, that's the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, and we collect and track public performance works for composers and for publishers, songwriters. So yes, it's created a whole new environment and set of problems. In one sense, the more music that's out there and the bigger the audience, the better. But it's also nice to be paid for what you do.
Yeah, of course.
And there is a climate out there of the fact that music should be free, that it's there, you know.
Right. And not necessarily that it needs to be free, but it's so accessible. You know, it's you almost have to play to that audience.
But there is a movement
Yeah.
that speaks to the belief that music should be free, literally free.
Absolutely.
And fine, except I don't know what young songwriters and composers starting out are supposed to live on. I mean, I'd like to think that it's a day job and not something that songwriters and composers have to do for the love of it, but have other jobs to pay the bills. While some people are making money on their work. So from that standpoint, yes, it certainly has changed. On the other hand, the new technology is extraordinary in terms of the possibilities of the work, and composers particularly, benefit from, being able to do magic
Yeah.
with the new technology, and we of course take advantage of the research and the possibilities that are available online as writers. But it has created an enormous problem for professional musicians and writers generally.
I mean, everybody.
Intellectual property owners generally,
Yeah.
So there's a whole education process that I think probably has to start with kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully the next generation they will have to grow up in the climate, so they'll definitely have a different mindset
I hope so.
on how it all
I
works.
certainly hope so.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier. I was actually this morning when I woke up. Good Times was on
yeah.
television, so I sat down and watched it. And we were having a conversation about how TV shows today. I mean, TV shows still have theme songs, but back then, there's some more iconic. Have you guys had any approaches for that, like in recent years, or have you noticed a drop off of?
Well, you see less of songs. They don't deal with songs anymore.
Rarely.
Really, it seems that they want to get to the program right away. You
Right.
know? And when we did those songs for Good Times and Maud and Alice and things like that, it was wonderfully challenging to write. First of all, they're 45 seconds long. That's all you have.
At most.
At most. To establish the character or the environment that you're going to have for the next, and make that something that the people don't get bored with hearing every week.
Yeah.
And Norman Lear, who produced those two, Maud and Good Times, he was wonderful to write for because he gave us great freedom.
I remember when we went after he had asked us to write the song for Maud, for example, and we said we came and we played him with Dave Grusin, the composer. We played him this a gospel song. Now his partner at the time said, "But why would you write a gospel song for this B. Arthur character?" And we said, "Well, why not? I mean, you like it." Norman got it right away.
Yeah.
And it was, and it was an entrance. We were writing really an entrance for her. And you saw, if you remember it, the shots of her where she was walking. And then at the end, and right on, Maud.
Yeah.
At the end, and there she was.
Yeah.
And Good Times gave you the environment.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what
it establishes the not only
Yeah.
the environment, but then it introduces all the characters like
Yeah.
really well.
And we
you
had-
don't see it so much anymore.
Yeah, and we, you know, you always feed off your own experience. When we wrote this, it was kind of a similar assignment to In the Heat of the Night, where that train was coming into a southern town, and,
Yeah.
and you wanted to get the feel of where he was going. I just did a picture for Steven Soderbergh
Okay.
with Marvin Hamlish. Picture comes out in March
Called The Informant.
called The
Informant.
Informant.
With Mark
Wonderful
Damon.
picture.
It's a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
Good.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the song has a specific function in the picture.
Good.
Which
It
is,
comes right out of the movie.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to see more of that. So yeah.
So do I.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's a
Great
pleasure to meet
pleasure.
both of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.